All right, welcome to the 2022 Famous Idaho Potato Bowl postgame press conference. We have players from San Jose State here. We'll open up the floor for questions. Those wanting to ask questions, please raise your hand and we will get the microphones to you.
Jason Chad. Is this on? Okay, sorry. Chev, if you could talk a little bit about today and, what were they able to do, with you guys? You obviously started out hot, but then what kind of changes were they making that it kind of, stopped you guys offensively?
They weren't really making any changes. We were just hurting ourselves. That's about it.
Kyle, so, it's a disappointing end to your career at SJSU, but how do you balance a game like this with the bowl experience in general?
I think you have to be just locked in from the start. Obviously, there's like a lot of things that go into a bowl game. You get activities, you're in a whole different town. There's a lot more people traveling. There's just a lot that goes into a bowl game. So I think just being locked in throughout the entirety of the trip, keep the main thing, and just got to go out and execute at the end of the day. Hard one today, but I love these guys. I'll do anything for them, and just thankful that I got to play at San Jose State.
Kyle Scott, Daily Climate Magazine, Redwood City. You outscored Eastern Michigan in the second half and held them to 11 points. What adjustments did you make at halftime?
I think we just changed up some of the looks, we just threw in a little bit more as far as, scheme, different types of pressures. We just, got out of our own way, really. We weren't, shooting ourselves in the foot too much in the second half, and we just came out and gave it our best in that second half. So,
Kyle, did Eastern Michigan do anything offensively that surprised you or that you didn't see on film?
No, we knew they were a really good team. We knew they were physical up front. We knew they wouldn't beat themselves. But you got the tip of your hat to them. There were a lot of talent on that team up front. They're very well coached. Play here or there can kind of, play a different game that, play to their strength, play to our strength, and just, some plays went their way and just kind of gave them some momentum, and we couldn't get that back until the second half.
Chev, can you talk a little bit about you had a couple of fourth down plays that were, really the difference in the game. You convert those, the one on the goal line, and then you had another one where you guys were kind of seeming to get back in the game, or had a chance to get back in the game, and we're stopping that. Can you talk about those plays and, and kind of what went on and as far as how that affected you guys at the time?
They won the fourth down battle. We had chances to score and, get first downs, and we didn't do it. That's why I said we hurt ourselves. And, just give props to them. They played a good game, and they're a great team.
Did either of you guys feel there would be this huge swing after the blocked extra point was taken back for 2?
Try to say it again.
When the blocked extra point, so when you guys were up 13-0, extra point gets blocked, Eastern Michigan takes it back all the way. Did either of you guys feel that there would be this huge swing of momentum?
Not really. It was only 2 points. So, it wasn't really a big deal. And, it happened to us San Diego State, and we kind of just put a mindset in just saying that, we got to keep on going and not let anything swing our momentum. And, so, that didn't really do anything to us.
Kyle, your first year, you guys were 1-11. You won a Mountain West title in 2020, and you end your career not maybe the way you want it, but at least going to a bowl game for a program that wasn't all that used to going to a lot of bowl games. How do you feel about leaving the program in better hands than when you got there? What's that mean to you?
Everything. I was just talking to Cade about that on the field. And I was like, we were just hugging each other. And I was like, man, back in freshman year, we would have died to be in a bowl game. We didn't do anything to lose in a bowl game. And just to see the way that, Coach shaped this program, the talent he's brought in, and it's like no one thought that this would happen at San Jose State. Like, no one ever thought that we would bounce back from where we were. Like, we seen, like, what it was when we first got here and how you had to turn it around. It was like, man, it felt like forever till we made that swing, and we just made that turn. And to see the talent that we have in the locker room now, like, man, the sky is the limit. Honestly, the sky is the limit for this program, and the coaches in there, I believe in them all. And, we got a new facility going up, so that's just going to bring it up. So this place is on the rise for sure, and I just was so blessed and happy that I got to be a part of it.
And Chev, I talked to you a couple days ago, and you said you were planning on coming back next year and using your COVID season. You can confirm that, right? You'll be back next year?
Oh, yeah, I'm definitely coming back.
Now, you need 27 touchdown passes now. You got 3 today to become the all-time touchdown passes leader in the history of the Mountain West Conference. Does that mean, what does that mean to you if you're able to get that done in a Spartan uniform and pass some pretty big names on that list?
I mean, obviously it will mean a lot, all my hard work, but I mean, I'm not looking forward to that. I want to win the Mountain West Championship next year. I just want to start working already, gather the team, coming back next year, and get to work because we got a special year next year.
2 more questions for our student athletes.
Chev, 3 touchdown passes today, big passes, and also a couple of interceptions. What were the looks they were throwing at you? What were you able to exploit, and what gave you trouble?
My first interception, the linebacker kind of played me. He made a good play, and then the second interception, I was just trying to make something, squeeze something in. But like I said, they played good today. I give them props, and they played better.
And Chev, this game obviously, based on you guys, how you are in here, seems like it really means something to you. And it's not just, guys weren't just happy to be in the bowl game. What do you think that says about, the future of the program and where you guys are at and what your expectations are now?
We wanted to win. The activities was fun, but at the same time, we wanted to end the season, send the seniors off with a win, and we didn't do that. It's very disappointing, but just gotta. For all the guys returning back, we just gotta look from this, learn from all the things we did bad and all the things we did good, and just get better.
Congratulations to Eastern Michigan, Coach Creighton and staff. They got a really good football team. They obviously played better than we did today, and I give them credit for that. It was fun talking with him a little bit during the course of the week. We feel like there's some similarities between what they've done. They're a few years ahead of us, and what we're trying to do at San Jose. I give those guys a lot of credit. They played hard. They were well coached. They executed at a high level. They made the plays when they had to, and I think that's a little bit of the difference in the game for us. I know you just talked to Chevin and Kyle. For me, the disappointment for the game is significant, but really there's probably more sadness and disappointment with the players that are leaving us. Just an incredible group of men. Like, I can't tell you what those locker rooms were like when you can't find a way to get a first down or you can't stop anybody, and what Cade has been, or Fehoko, or Kyle Harmon, Noah Wright. There's so many, Nehemiah, Sammy White. It's just a really special group of guys, and I'm so glad they chose us and believed in us when no one else did. So I think that's the hardest part about today, is that we didn't send them out the way they deserve to be sent out, considering the fight they fought.
Coach, the blocked extra point that returned for 2 points for Eastern Michigan, did you think that was the momentum shifter in the game?
It definitely impacted the game. I don't think there's any doubt about that. The frustrating part was that we just didn't respond for a quarter, right? Like, we came out in the second half and it looked like football. it looked like us. I got a couple stops, moved the ball well, you know, started to run a little bit, threw it well. I thought we had some really good play calls on both sides there. You know, I mean, that play obviously had a big impact, right? Because we're up, you know, we go up 13-0 and we're feeling good, and then that play happens, right? So that was definitely a hard moment in the game, and it's one of those things that we have to learn from. And I think you know, the hard part about that is that play is a tricky play. It seems so automatic, right? It just really does. And but obviously it is not, and we found that out today. And it's a hard thing to practice because you have 300+ pound dudes, you know, knocking the crap out of each other and landing on each other's legs. And when you're as thin as we kind of got towards the end of the year, practicing that, you're like, well, do I really want to play this game without Cade Hall and Junior Fehoko, right? So because they got rolled up on in a PAT drill. But I got to find a better way for us to rep that.
With how incredible the season has been, the journey of the team, your journey here as well, how hard is it for it to end this way and still balance out kind of the good and just everything?
It's hard. That's a good question. I think what I mentioned, the hardest part is just saying goodbye to these guys that have been with us for so long. You know, a lot happens in those 5 years of a college athlete, right? And especially here, there's been it's one of the most insane times in the history of our country, right? And so there's not just a lot of football there, there's a lot of life with those guys. And I think that's the hardest part, is that we just didn't finish it. And there was a lot of great moments too. And, you know, and so, you know, I'm sure at some point we'll look back fondly on that, you know, but today we're hurting because we didn't send those guys out the right way.
Coach, can you talk a little bit about the defense today? I mean, it's been one of your strengths all season long, and you know you had a stretch there where they scored 4 straight touchdowns. You know, what was happening at that point? Were they doing something scheme-wise that was kind of throwing you guys off, or just making big plays?
They definitely made some big plays there, and I think, you know, part of that was you know, also our inability to sustain a drive or to add any points, right? Because we didn't score till the second half. So that second quarter was just, you know, if you're going to win against good people, you know, when one side of the ball or one phase of your team is not going well, the other side has to respond. They have to answer. And in that quarter, we didn't do that in either phase, you know. And so, you know, we had the 4th down, you know, stop, you know, deep in the red zone, right? And, you know, obviously that hurt. And then that thing went 95. Like, lots of times that decision for me is, oh, well, let's go for it. And they have to go 95 yards on our defense, and not a lot of people have done that. So, but then they did, you know. So I give credit, like I said at the start, I give a lot of credit to Eastern Michigan because, right, they kept us out, and then they answered with a 96, 95-yard scoring drive.
And the other thing, too, you guys have been really good all year, obviously, tops in the country as far as the turnover battle,
Right.
and did not win that today. You haven't had any games with multiple turnovers even. I mean, what was happening there? Was there anything that kind of was, you know, spurring that on, or that you could see?
No, you know, I think, you know, one of those, I heard Shevin say it, you know, their linebacker did a good job of kind of wrapping, you know, reaching back inside on an RPO thing, and Shevin ripped it to him. And then, you know, the interception late in the game, you know, was frustrating. You know, I think he tried to fit a ball in a tight spot, which, you know, great players have to do sometimes, you know, and we just missed it. And then, you know, we threw the one pick on the reverse pass, and it just looked like, I just saw it in real time, but I think Elijah maybe thought that he was going to play Jackson Kanan, and then he ended up, like, someone ran out underneath it late, and so then he tried to play it late to Charles Ross, right? And it kind of sat him down, you know, in the end zone because it was thrown late, and then it ends up being a 50-50 ball, and the guy from Eastern Michigan made a great play. Tip your hat to him.
Coach, John Mallory here with KTIK Sports Radio here in Boise. Shevin said he's coming back next year.
Amen to that.
And it's not easy taking a a transfer quarterback, just based on stats, there's so much more that comes into that position. You've had one full year with Chevin, you get another one next year. What did you learn this year about that kid that maybe you didn't know when you initially brought him in?
That kid is special. Like, he is so competitive. Did he talk about the picks today? Did he do that? Right? It's the first thing he talked about, right? Like, that's how he's wired. Like, he's so competitive. He's such a hard worker, and it matters so much to him. And, you know, even times when he was getting, you know, taking some hits or getting beat up throughout the course of the season, like, he never came out of the game. Like, he is extremely tough. And I don't think people know that about him, you know. But we're very fortunate that he believed in us and chose to come here. And then also for us, you know, we've had a really good track record with transfer quarterbacks, because before Chevin, we had another all-conference player, Nick Starkle, right? And so, but for us, I think you can find talented quarterbacks, like at high school, JC, portal, whatever. But they have to fit us for the thing to work. Like, they have to fit our culture. They have to care about people. They got to want to play for someone else beside themselves. And so far, you know, we've been lucky that way.
I'm not sure if you're aware, but he needs 27 touchdown passes to become the all-time Mountain West leader in touchdown passes.
Let's do that.
Is that something that will be celebrated and sought out and maybe marketed in the preseason going in? I mean, like, it's a pretty big deal, I think. It's a sports radio topic for sure.
Yeah, I think you got to ask our marketing team about their plan for that. But I do think Chevin Cordero is one of the best quarterbacks in the country. And, you know, I think that plays out when you have a guy that threw that many touchdowns, ran for that many touchdowns, and threw that those few interceptions. You know, but I think, you know, anytime those type of records or awards happen, you know, knowing Chevin, like, that's going to be a team award. Like, even when he was talking to you guys a little while ago, I heard him say that he wants to get back to work. Like, I'm like, dude, Christmas is in 3 days, like, or whatever it is, 5 days, right? Like, and so, but that's how he is, and that's what makes him special, is that he's so competitive, and he wants to be great, and that's what the best players do. That's how they're wired.
2 more questions.
Can you speak to the famous Idaho Potato Bowl and the work that I didn't realize it until coming, but, like, there is so much that goes into putting all of this on. Can you speak to that?
This was an awesome experience for our team across the board. You know, everything basically except for the second quarter of the game. But you know, like, Danielle, her team, like, the people here were so kind and generous, and the effort they put out for us to make it a first-class experience was really, really special. And, you know, all of our players are going to remember this the rest of your life, because that's how it is with bowl games. Like, I, you know, went to the Alamo Bowl when I was at Oregon State 10 years ago, and my kids still talk about it. Right? That's, you know, these are special moments in the lifetime of a football player, and especially at our place, because we haven't been to a lot of them. And so to come here and just have this first-class treatment, the hotel, the events, the city of Boise was great. And so I'm just really grateful for that, and our team is too.
Coach, we all heard the emotion in your voice when you began. Can you talk a little bit about what you have, excuse me, what you've tried to accomplish?
You got some emotion going?
Yeah, no. What you've tried to accomplish with this program, and you talked about people who believed in you when no one else did, and then where are you trying to go forward?
You know, when we started, you know, we were just trying to get good, you know, and I think the exciting thing is that, you know, the last 4 years we've been playing for the postseason in November, where in 2017 and 18 that was not even close to being real. You know, we were in the conference hunt till late in the season this year, right? You know, we were fortunate enough to get a bid to this awesome bowl game here and get the extra practice and all that stuff. I think our goal is to is to build a consistent, sustainable, winning program at San Jose State that plays for conference championships, right? You know, that's the football goal. You know, on top of that, you know, our goal is to build quality young men who
do things the right way and are prepared for life after football. And so those two things happen simultaneously for us, but I think they contribute to the product on the field also. You know, I really think our Beyond Sparta program and contributes to that. And we're fortunate. We have support of a really great administration that believes in what we're doing there. We have a new football building being built, which we've never had a first-class football facility like that. And you know, like, I've been here all week. I'm checking out their stuff. I'm like, this stuff's nice, you know. But in July of 23, you know, we're moving into that, and I think it's going to be a game changer for us. So, you know, I think we can do that at San Jose State. I know we can because we already have, right? We've won the conference, right? We've got to the postseason. You know, can we do it back to back? Can we be in the hunt back to back? Can we win it again? You know, that's where my sights are set, and that's where the sights of the players that are coming back are set.